Hi everyone, I'm Faisal Butt, the CEO of PyLabs. Welcome to PyLabs Demo Day 2021. Last year we had our first virtual demo day in the midst of COVID. Now, a year later, I'm super excited to be here with you and present our latest batch of startups. 2021 has been an incredibly exciting year for us as we have continued executing on our global vision, building on our established base of 50 investments in Europe, and now also investing further afield in North America and Israel and beyond. Both an accelerator and seed and Series A deals for a total of 7 new global startups just this year. We launched PyLabs in 2015 with the bold vision to take the real estate and construction sectors into the digital age by finding and investing in the most promising prop tech businesses and technologies. And our accelerator has been the core of that goal. Over the years, we've had some incredible success stories springing out of our accelerator, including Land Tech, Office R&D, Office App, and Generation Home. We've seen teams come to us with an idea and relatively rudimentary technology, and with the founders' grit, their determination, and of course, capital, many of these startups have emerged into global businesses with significant scale. The startups you'll see in a few minutes are small and early today, but we've seen from our prior investments that with the right execution and the right capital, that tomorrow they can emerge as global companies with meaningful scale and impact. Over the years, we've gained some incredibly valuable insights working with our startups. And over the past 4 months, we've been taking these learnings and lessons and applying them to our latest 5 teams as they embark on their startup journeys. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today as we reveal our latest 5 teams to the outside world for the first time. I also want to take a moment to thank everyone who's part of our global PyLabs ecosystem, the individuals and the companies who support us and our portfolio companies, including our over 70 mentors, our 100 or so co-investors that have invested with us or after us in our portfolio companies, our LPs and our shareholders, the real estate companies globally that have deployed our technologies, and last but not least, our 100 or so founders all across Europe and beyond, many of whom are now mentoring our newest founders. And thank you all in the audience for joining us today to watch the 9th cohort of the PyLabs Accelerator pitch to the world today for the first time. On that note, I'd like to hand over to my colleague, Boyan, our program manager, who will welcome the 5 teams. Over to you, Boyan.
Thank you for that, Faisal. And good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Boyan, and I'm the program manager of the PyLabs Accelerator, the 16-week program that aims to support earlier stage investments through a series of workshops, mentors, investors, and relevant industry contacts. It feels only yesterday I stood here in this exact same room, actually, presenting to you our first virtual demo day with Cohort 8. And although Cohort 9 is our second virtual program, it's the first where we've actually had the chance to completely redesign it with remote working in mind. And as for the result, well, you'll see that for yourselves in a few minutes, but I cannot skip the opportunity to say that our program continues to be more and more global, with Cohort 9 spanning teams across Canada, Israel, and the UK. This has inevitably meant that our Canadian teams have sometimes had to change their morning coffees for beers, and that we only have a couple hours in the day for group activities. But this all pales in comparison with the opportunity we've had to be supporting these 5 amazing teams. It's something that we simply couldn't have done any other way. But enough about where teams are from. It's time to focus on where teams are at. And this year, I'm very glad to say we've hit another milestone in the program, with all teams already starting their next funding rounds and some even closing them. That is why I'm incredibly excited to share with you our latest 5 B2B teams with you today and kick off another round of highly relevant introductions. Our first company for today is based out of British Columbia and is changing how commercial real estate perceives and manages their carbon reduction goals. This is an incredibly exciting theme for PyLabs and our partners. And without any further ado, I want to present to you Christopher Naismith, founder of Audette.
Thanks, Boyan. So I'm Christopher Naismith. I'm the CEO and founder of Audette. And we envision a world where every building upgrade is a carbon reduction project. At this point, the world is transitioning to carbon neutral. 82% of the global economy has a mid-century zero carbon target. As a lifelong energy efficiency advocate, I know that this massive shift is the biggest market transformation of our time. I'm also not surprised that the commercial real estate sector is 14 years behind schedule on its path to decarbonization. But so what? I mean, that's the government's problem, right? What does it actually mean to real estate holders? Well, here's what it means. It's something called stranded asset risk. These are buildings that, due to market conditions and regulations, become unsellable, and in some cases even unrentable due to their carbon performance. It's the reason that without action, up to 11 trillion in European real estate will become obsolete by 2050. And absolutely nobody wants to be left holding that bag. But there is a solution. And that solution is to turn every building upgrade into a carbon reduction project, effectively to bake sustainability into every capital planning decision made by building managers. Let's walk through an example. So Levi is an energy manager at CBRE. He oversees a 1,500 building portfolio whose ownership has a carbon neutral mandate. The portfolio already generates millions in necessary equipment upgrades every year. All he has to do is get in there at the time of replacement with an attractive, sustainable business case. But if he misses that window, he will not get that specific opportunity again for the next 30 years. But if he does, there are billions in grants and financing looking to promote energy efficient purchasing decisions and to make Levi a hero. Now, I built a career getting paid $200 an hour to find these projects and match them with funding programs. A study for a single building could cost up to $20,000. This current process is massively inefficient and slow. And with commercial buildings representing more than 1/5 of all global carbon emissions, this inefficiency literally threatens the future of our planet. But this is why we've created Audette. We're building the world's largest carbon efficiency projects marketplace for existing commercial real estate. And here's what that means. We sit right in the middle of this market. We use software to tap into operating data in buildings. This includes things like maintenance records, asset registers, and smart building systems. We identify all upcoming equipment upgrades and the most appropriate technology for their replacement. We then match all of those projects with the maximum amount of grants and financing on our network. And through our web platform, we stick with the users throughout their carbon management journey from now until 2050. We allow them to monitor and report on consumption, plan new projects each year, and track the impact of their investments. A 50 building portfolio can expect to save $400,000 a year in energy and equipment costs, all for about a $40,000 contract. But we actually monetize opportunities twice. We charge a platform fee to the building owners, and we keep that low cost and scalable because we also charge a transaction fee to capital providers. Under this model, just a 3% market penetration is almost 200 million ARR. To put that in context, there's currently over 100 billion deployed each year towards energy efficient purchasing decisions. And that's growing more than 30% year over year. About 10% of that, or 11 billion, gets diverted to things like due diligence and administration. And this is Audette's magic. We drive down the cost of finding and financing energy and carbon efficiency projects. Audette sits right at the intersection of carbon planning tools and low carbon financing. We're the only full stack platform that answers not only the question of how is my portfolio performing, but what should I do about it? And how can I finance it? At this intersection, we only really overlap with consultants who often do this work as a loss leader to get design and project management contracts. What we've found is they're actually an ideal go-to-market partner. They recommend us to their client base and get services contracts at the tail end. Building Audette requires expertise in 4 key areas: building science, software engineering, finance, and relationship building. We've handpicked a team of experts with decades of experience in our respective fields. We're also supported by an incredible consortium of industry experts. We have researchers on the cutting edge of machine learning and building science. We have the Building Owners and Managers Association, who represent more than 1 billion square meters of property ownership. And we're now working one-on-one with Google's Sustainable Development Goals and engineering advisors. Launched into British Columbia last year, we're already working with an incredible group of 15 enterprise customers and capital providers. The sectors represented here are real estate, both owned and managed, the education sector, and municipal government. Our go-to-market strategy is one of direct sales and then land and expand. In this way, we've already generated 175,000 in contracts across our Western Canadian beachhead, but those users alone represent over 90 billion in real estate assets globally. They're asking us to move into Eastern Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. And to capture just 10% of this 23 million top line revenue potential next year, we launched a $1 million seed raise just 9 weeks ago. After some amazing interest, we're now oversubscribed. But we're looking now to build relationships with large commercial property groups targeting carbon neutral and with Series A PropTech investors. We're looking forward to having you join our mission to turn every building upgrade into a carbon reduction project. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that, Christopher. We're thrilled to be supporting Audette in their global journey into the UK, Europe, and beyond. Our next company for today is ConWize and their team based out of Israel, who are improving the way bidding and estimating is done and are already enabling their contractor clients win more tenders. The team has progressed an immense amount and reached some very exciting milestones after only 12 months of operation. To tell you more about it, I want to present to you Dima, co-founder of ConWize.
Hello everyone, my name is Dima Haikin and I'm the CEO of ConWize. We have developed a SaaS platform for estimating and bidding automation for the construction industry. Cost estimating accuracy in the construction industry is critical. Almost 70% of projects around the globe are over budget. KPMG found that one of the main reasons for it is inaccurate project estimate. The result, financial losses of many millions and loss of reputation. Cost estimating is relevant for any construction project in the world. These processes are done by hundreds of companies in each project. It's done by the developer, it's done by the general contractors, and it's done by hundreds of subcontractors and suppliers. If we look deeper to the problem, we see that most of the companies are doing estimates and bidding manually by Excel files or outdated software solutions. It means that the companies are exposed to human errors and there is no standardization in the processes. It also means that the companies can't learn from past projects and can improve over time in their cost estimating. So we developed a SaaS platform, a cloud-based solution that helps construction projects companies to estimate projects more accurately and actually win more tenders. It is an all-in-one bidding platform that gives an end-to-end solution for cost estimating. It allows you to do the whole process in the system without using any Excel files. The system is very intuitive and easy to use. It automatically highlights possible errors. It allows to make precise self-estimates and bidding automation processes with subcontractors. The system allows every company to set KPIs, and the system shows comparison analysis to past projects. We have a very clear business model. General contractors and developers are using the platform by subscription model per users or per project. And while they're using the system for their benefit, they also invite hundreds of subcontractors and suppliers. And each one of them for us is a potential paying customers. So subcontractors start for free and then they can upgrade to paid plan. So actually, we are creating a two-sided marketplace. And our goal is to make a global network of construction companies. I bring 14 years of experience in the construction industry. Over the years, I made 4 successful ERP integrations in large construction companies in Israel. And actually, ConWize was founded from the pain I saw across the industry. We are 3 co-founders, Dennis is our CTO, and he brings more than 25 years of experience in the R&D. Ran is our CRO, and he also brings more than 15 years of experience in B2B sales, IT, and in particular in the construction industry. We are a team of 11 people. 8 of us are from the R&D team. We launched officially at the start of 2020 in Israel, and today we are working with 17 general contractors, with 6 out of 10 the biggest GCs in Israel. This is the most innovative companies for construction, and they looked all over the world for the best solution, and they chose to work with us. Also on our platform, they're registered and collaborating already more than 1,600 subcontractors and suppliers. We became break-even after 9 months from launch, and today we have more than $30,000 MRR, and our average monthly growth is 20%. We work with Jaleli Mea for 1 year, and currently we are onboarding users in 3 more countries in Europe. We have testimonials that we help them save 70% of time on distributing, analyzing, and tracking contractors. We help them eliminate 90% of human errors and help them improve transparency of their teamwork. Our next step from the technology side is to add a layer to the platform of machine learning and NLP, and we believe this will disrupt the way cost estimating is done in construction. And we have the data that is needed for these algorithms to train and to improve over time. We believe these capabilities can give our customers an unfair competitive advantage, and for us open new possibilities and even new business models. We are ready to scale, and we are currently looking to connect with potential customers in Europe, Asia, Middle East. Also, we are raising our seed fund of $2 million in order to support our scale to Europe, to extend R&D of machine learning, and to build a sales machine. We are very, very excited to start working with you, and I'll be happy to answer a question in private room. Thank you very much.
That was awesome. Thank you very much for that, Dima. Can't wait to see what's next for ConWize. The next company that we want to present to you today ties in directly not only with our focus on sustainability, but also with our company and portfolio-wide efforts around mental well-being and founder resilience. I'm super excited to present to you Chad from Hölmetrics, who's going to give you a sneak preview of what workplace engagement can really look like. Chad, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chad Verdi from Hölmetrics, where we are obsessed with the future of work. And yet something is deeply broken inside of today's workplace. When 60% of all employees were willing to take a pay cut to work somewhere that cared more about their personal well-being. When every employee takes 3.5 days off every year due to stress and mental health concerns. When 34% of an employee's annual salary is lost to disengagement, and when 30%, 1 in 3 of workplace disability claims is caused and related to mental health. At Hölmetrics, we empower leaders by connecting the dots between employee experience and organizational performance by providing them real-time analysis into what we call the 7 Hölmetrics. The 7 Hölmetrics are the risk of burnout, engagement, leadership, social capital, workload, job satisfaction, and workplace satisfaction. For decades, companies have been iterating on employment engagement surveys, trying to make them better. At Hölmetrics, we've simply just removed them from the equation. Our incredible world-class team of industrial organizational psychologists, engineers, and data scientists have developed a 4-stage process to make this a reality, and we're currently filing our first US patent on this technology as we speak. The first step of our process is data extraction, where we connect into data, into the tools that teams use every day, like Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and Slack. And I have to stress here that we only connect into data that's owned by the company, our customer. We do not assess any personal private data of any kind. We do not collect or store any sensitive data of any kind. And the only data that is ever stored on our server is the metadata that we need for step number 2, which is our data analysis, building the data model. And so inside data analysis, we use artificial intelligence, tone and sentiment analysis, organizational network analysis, and demographic information in order to build our data model. And we map 75 different data points through to those 7 whole metrics. The third stage is where we validate that data. We use a pulse widget that asks employees one question every day for an initial 3-month onboarding period. That proves that our numbers are accurate. And once we have a proven, validated data model, it goes to stage number 4, into our data warehouse, where it is ready to serve the Hölmetrics front end. The Hölmetrics front end puts the most critical information about a company at the fingertips of the leadership throughout the organization. And we organize that content across 3 critical areas: risk management, growth management, and change management. And this is really where Hölmetrics becomes a management of management tool, where leaders from across the organization come together to collaborate on executing the action plans that Hölmetrics provides that identify millions of dollars in cost reductions and performance improvements, and opens up what we call innovation capacity inside of a company. On top of working with customers, we charge on average $5 per employee per month. And on average, we hit an ROI target of 200 to 1. Now, on top of not using surveys, we differentiate ourselves inside of a $65 billion workplace enrichment market in 4 critical ways. The first way is that our assessments are done daily in real time. The second way is that our assessments are fully anonymous. They're aggregated, completely confidential. And so we don't provide any individual assessment to the employer of any kind. The third way is that we connect the dots between employee experience and organizational performance so that leaders throughout the organization can improve the performance and the bottom line of a company by improving the employee experience in real time without having to wait for forecasts or pro formas or quarterly results. The end result being a company that is healthy and sustainable and yet outperforms their competition in every aspect. The fourth way is that we connect into IoT devices like internal or indoor environmental sensors. And we are really excited to launch the second version of our plug and play indoor environmental sensor that we call Hölmetrics Vibe. Our team of 10 is led by our management team, including myself. I have 10 years of nonprofit leadership experience. My co-founder, Dan, has 25 years of business law experience, and he is our chief privacy officer. Christy is our head of operations, and she leads our customer success team. Naran is our CTO, and he leads our engineering team. Next slide, please. Now, we are currently working with 6 SME customers in an initial validation and proof of concept model. And we're on target to hit 110,000 in ARR by the end of this year. But we're ready to execute on our enterprise strategy, where we work with Fortune 1000 companies and alongside channel partners like Big 4 management consulting firms, private equity firms, and people inside of the workplace benefits platform to hit $85 million in ARR by the end of 2025. Now, we are currently raising $1 million US. Sorry. One of the reasons that we are so confident in our product is because of what our customers are already saying about it. So this is what Chris from Tangent Engineering had to say. Hölmetrics represents a huge step forward in monitoring, maintaining, and correcting issues related to the wellness of our staff. We're currently raising $1 million US to scale our product and our team and to execute on that enterprise sales strategy. And we are looking for strategic investors who can help us execute on that enterprise sales strategy. I'm really looking forward to demoing our product in the breakout room following this presentation and answering all of your questions. Again, my name is Chad Verity from Hölmetrics. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for that, Chad. As mentioned, in a few minutes, you have the opportunity to see a product demo of the Hölmetrics platform and ask any questions directly to Chad. For our next team, it's not every day that we get to present a solution that is a world's first, but this is exactly what this next pitch is going to be. For our next team, we're taking a slight break from our usual SaaS platform businesses and going into what can only be described as the next step in construction robotics. I'll leave it to Guy, founder of OKIBO, to tell you more about what they've been developing in the past few years.
Thanks, Boyan. Hi, I'm Guy German, CEO and co-founder of OKIBO, and we've developed the world's first fully autonomous painting and plastering robot for construction sites, taking on one of the major challenges the construction industry is facing today, the huge shortage of skilled professionals. Next slide, please. According to McKinsey, about 41% of the current US construction workforce is expected to retire by 2031. Situation is similar in other parts of the world as well. The COVID-19 crisis made things even worse and created a 25% rise in labor costs in Europe in just the last few months. This leads to project delays, poor quality, and low productivity. Another major concern is safety, as these tedious and repetitive works cause strain injuries and expose workers to hazardous materials. So the obvious solution to this problem is automation. And our product is a fully autonomous robot that performs wall finishing applications like plastering, sanding, and painting better, faster, and safer. Our robot is totally independent. It has high maneuverability in construction sites. It is battery operated. It does not rely on any external communication or computation. And it does not require any preparations, markings, or external measure equipment. But it's not just automation, it's about smart automation. So apart from the robotic platform itself, we have developed two core technologies, a patent-registered 3D perception algorithm and our autonomous robotic path plan algorithm. So although our product is a hardware solution, the great majority of our unique IP is in our software. So we offer, first and foremost, high availability of workforce. You get it wherever you need it, whenever you need it. It is safer, faster, and more reliable. But on top of that, our simulation environment can provide accurate predictions on schedule and expected material usage for each project. The labor market of painting in the US alone is estimated at around $15 billion a year. And the drywall finishing market is around $100 billion a year in Europe and the US alone. In the local German market, which we're currently working in, there are 250 million square meters being paint spray every year. We're already offering a robot as a service in market prices, which range for painting at around 2.5 euros per square meters. And one robot can cover over 10,000 square meters per month. Within the next 18 months, we expect to complete the certification process of our commercial model, the EG6, and start with listing offers and later on sales, which will come with software licensing and maintenance packages. Robots in construction is not a futuristic vision. It is happening today and in a rapidly growing pace. The construction industry has realized that everything that can be automated will be automated. Robotics in general is booming, and there were 38 robotics investments worth close to $5 billion in April this year. That's more than 700% increase year over year. Next slide, please. Our product is unique, it is robust, it is battery operated, and it's easy to operate. But our solution is significantly different than others, as it is the only fully autonomous solution out there. We started performing paid pilots in Germany with our EG5 models with key market leaders, and we're discussing projects with them where the robot is offered as a service operated by our team. Speaking of team, let me introduce some of it. Lior Zeibel, a brilliant mathematician, has over 10 years of experience in computer vision and 3D perception. Ron Danon, a brilliant robotics expert leading our development team, has over 10 years of experience in motion control and autonomous algorithms. Nadav Shuruk, my co-founder, has over 15 years of experience in finance, strategy, and operations. And I have 20 years of experience in building products and leading development teams. We have 10 team members, all are experts in their fields and are super passionate about OKIBO. We plan to continue operate our robots as a service, generating revenues and improving the product. And we're currently looking to engage with more customers in Europe and the UK. By 2023, we plan to offer our solution in mass quantities and change the construction industry forever. We'll be super excited to show you the robot in action in the breakout room, just right after this. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Guy. And yes, please do make sure to join the team in the demo session at the end and see the OKIBO robot in action. It really is worth it. Our final team for today is operating in another segment that is particularly close to our hearts, and that is investment management. Honest AI reduces data complexity and can accelerate the investment analysis process from months to mere minutes. And all of this while making it 10 times cheaper. To tell you more about it and how they're going to change the industry, I want to invite Dimitrios, founder of Honest AI.
Thank you, Boyan. Hello, everyone. Right, there are 550 billion pounds worth of commercial real estate transactions globally every year. Just in the UK, it's 30 billion pounds worth of transactions. Yet decisions for these multi-billion pound deals are made with very limited and unreliable data. Only 2% of available and relevant data is utilized. And because of this, although this data is manually collected and processed by humans, it's of low value. Investors have no choice but to rely on word-of-mouth information and to rely on information obtained through personal relationships and their own intuition. And this is crazy. One, not only it increases the risk of making bad decisions, but two, it increases the time to make decisions by days. And three, it ultimately leaves money on the table. Take, for example, a client of ours, a fund that spent £150,000 with advisory firms to obtain data comparables like yields and rental prices. And some were given to them from a completely different city than the one they were investing. And ultimately, they got a proposal for student accommodation in this case that was the worst choice for that location because of oversupply in the market. The data they were given by advisory firms was of poor quality. They thought it was very good. And they failed to look into the future pipeline to predict the oversupply that we predicted. So I'm Dimitrios, I'm the co-founder of Honest AI, the data intelligence platform for commercial real estate investing. I started my career as a computer engineer working for the UK's largest tech company, and I've seen firsthand how good data and great technology should look like. About 5 years ago, I was first introduced to real estate data, and I was shocked at how bad it was compared to every other industry out there. How can someone make good investment decisions without good data? At the same time, recently, as you all know, the real estate world has started changing. So tenants are not interested in long leases anymore. Tenants don't have the ability to pay as before. And are real estate investors capable to handle all this change in the business model? Well, no, look at some of the headlines. This is $150 billion of pain. And the problem is the tools of today are not capable to handle any of this complexity. For example, how do you handle 1 million data points in Excel? And what you see here, this is how some of the biggest funds in the UK collect and process data. And the picture is blurred on purpose, by the way. So, and this is exactly why we created Honest AI. So real estate investors can now extract key data points from various sources instantly, sources internal or external to the organization, and alternative data as well, like demographics or crime levels. And investors can now do that by asking questions in natural language in a way they've always used to. So for example, as you can see here, we could be asking, well, what is the estimated annual rent for this particular postcode? And get the answer instantly, £95,000. And the value here is that we know that real estate investors don't like complicated technology. So we optimize just for that. And we know that real estate people like personalized service and products. So we optimize for that too, with a product that uses AI to learn and adapt for each organization with three main benefits. Market research can be done in minutes, not days or weeks. Increased transparency of information and data within the organization, and more than 100 times the data points in a very simple interface. And this is why some of the world's leading real estate funds have trusted us with their information, with over 20 plus institutional investors engaging with us, from publicly traded REITs to the world's largest real estate advisory firms, with over 30 billion pounds of assets under management. Our vision is to organize the world's real estate information and make it easily accessible and useful by instantly delivering information on virtually any real estate topic. Ultimately, we envision to create a wholly autonomous engine that analyzes data in real time and recommends buy, sell opportunities for various asset classes in real estate, from student accommodation to offices and logistics. And with the right team to do that. My co-founder, Marios, a data scientist by profession, a quantum physicist by training, previously aggregated one of the world's largest databases of scientific papers, creating a Google for scientific research. Members of our team have won national awards like the Institute of Engineering and Technology to British Physics Olympiad goals. Along with PyLabs, we're supported and audited by the UK government's innovation agency, Innovate UK, and we've won a high-profile grant to help us develop the product. Today, we're looking for investors to join our latest funding round and join PyLabs, the UK government's Innovate UK fund, as well as some great angels. We're also looking for innovative real estate partners to speak with and showcase the value of our platform. The first step for us will be to show you that there is untapped value hidden within your data. So I'm very excited to be with you today and looking forward to having a chat in one of the breakout rooms. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for that, Demetrius. And this marks the end of the pitches. We'll now continue to the demo area. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the breakout rooms.